Like I have door knock anymore. So yeah.
Well, that goes into something, Joanne. What made you go door knock when you didn't feel like you wanted to?
Well, I had an obligation to do it because I promised the agent that I would door knock. I said, because that's how I got the open house. Like I promised them, I'm like, I do more than the average agent. I knock 50 doors, I provide you an open house report and I just do extra. So, which is why I get open houses above other agents, right? Why they pick me above other agents. So yeah.
There's a big word in this business, and I know some of you have this in your team title, but I think it's super important. And one of the core competencies and core abilities that successful people have is a deep underlying essence of integrity. Doing what you say you're going to do. That's part of it, right? That's the integrity. Or I told you I was going to go door knocking. I told you I was going to do this, or I put this on my goals. But are we keeping integrity with ourselves, right? I said that I'm going to do something for me, and I did it, and I showed up, right? For me, like it's once I get moving into a task, I'm a train in motion. I don't stop. But it's I got to get moving. But the one thing that gets me going is the integrity. Is I said I'm going to do something, and that's why I have such a following of people in my life that trust me when I say I'm going to do something. They count it as good as done. Kristen Cole, our owner here in Tucson and many of the Arizona market centers, is a extremely high functioning businesswoman. If you guys don't know who she is, look her up. Kristen Cole, she's dynamo. She's actually currently hanging out with John Maxwell in North Carolina this very minute. I was texting her earlier. Well, she asked me to do something. She doesn't follow up with it. She doesn't ask me if it's done. She doesn't follow around and say, "Hey, a week ago you said you were going to do this, this, and this. Is it done?" She knows when I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. But on the other side of that is what happens if I miss it? What happens if life shows up and you happen to be so far behind that you didn't get it done? That's where integrity also plays a factor. How do in if people that have extreme accountability in their lives show up when they are called to the carpet about missing something?
They own it.
They take ownership, right? That's a big part of it. And here's an example this morning. Driving up here to Phoenix this morning, I have a delightful visit with someone wearing a tan uniform in one of those weird looking cars with the red and blue lights, the ridiculous ones, right? Super weird.
I don't know. I've never
And
stopped for those guys. So,
never, they just encourage you to drive faster.
right.
Now, well, I had the opportunity to sit and talk with this gentleman, and when he asked me this, to pull over, I did so. And when we were talking at the window, I offered to step out of the vehicle and have a chat with him because of certain items in my vehicle that they aren't comfortable with. So, and on the side of the truck, the guy goes, "Hey, did you know that your registration is expired?" No, I didn't. He goes, "Yeah, it's been expired since May." I was like, "Oh, damn, I've been waiting for the email on that so I could just click the link and pay it." And the guy goes, "Oh," because he was at first like, "Oh, this guy's going to make an excuse like, oh, I'll do it or I've done it." And I was just like, "Hey, man, I must have missed that email. I don't do it, but shit, let me go get my laptop. I'll get it done right this second." He goes, "Well, give us a second. We'll be right back to you." So they go run my numbers and they do all this stuff. And I guess they Google who I am. They come back, give me a high five, give me a referral for real estate, and then tell me to be on my way with a warning. But here's the thing. Do you think if I'd have made excuses or I would have been aggressive with them, the treatment would have been the same?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, because when you take ownership of your mistakes, you'll be surprised when people give you the room to fix them. How many of us in our lives have had somebody that failed to fix something they screwed up and they blamed it on somebody else and then made it worse for themselves?
Mhm.
That's integrity, right? My son, I use my kids as an example all the time. My youngest son, he'll get in trouble. The first thing he does, well, Sky did this. Well, we're not talking about Sky. We're talking about you. Quit trying to make me look elsewhere. You made the mistake. You're paying the consequence. Sky and Stone wrestling, and Sky hurt Stone pretty bad, like hit him in the head, cut his head open. And the first thing Sky did was try to cover it up. And I'm like, that's not how we fix things, man. Also, like, you're not in trouble for hurting your brother. you're in trouble for how you responded to it. You're not in trouble for not calling your client. You're in trouble for how you responded to it. You are not going to be 100% flawless in your life. This is business, this is personal life, this is money, this is everything. Because some things are out of our control. Life is 90% out of your control. You believe that? Can you control other people? No. I definitely got in my truck and I searched for that email from the MBD. I never got it. I don't delete emails, so like I delete trash, but I don't delete important stuff. I've got every MBD email I've ever gotten on this truck, and the last one I got was in 2023. That was 2 years ago. Well, things happen. I show up for it. You know what? Hey, this is an issue I can't fix because I didn't know it was a problem. But how I showed up is important. Now, if I go throw blame, like, oh, clearly my wife deleted something, or the MBD sucks for not sending me an email, things happen, guys. 90% of life is not in your control, but it is 100% how you respond to it. There's one of my favorite stories. You guys have heard me say this, the coffee cup story. Anyone heard the coffee cup story? Remember that one?
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Okay, so let's look at two different scenarios, right? I want you guys to all imagine, if you're driving, don't close your eyes, please don't. Just imagine with your eyes open that you're with you're walking through this man's life, right? A guy wakes up, his alarm runs a little late. He runs downstairs to get ready for a big day. He's got a huge important presentation to the boss to become a partner in the law firm. He runs downstairs, his kids are playing at the breakfast table. Wife seems to be a little disheveled. He's frustrated because he's running late, and he's at the table and he bumps the table, right? And his daughter looks up and she startles and she knocks over a cup of coffee, and the cup of coffee splashes on his freshly pressed white shirt, and he erupts. He blows a gasket. He gets so frustrated and mad. He yells at his daughter, and his daughter starts to cry. Not supposed to yell at a 5-year-old for making a mistake. It's not their fault. They're learning their skills. And then the brother starts to laugh at her for crying, which makes the mom upset. Now the mom burns the bacon. And she throws the bacon in the sink and yells at him, "Damn it, Richard, it's your fault. You didn't have to yell at her to make her all mad. You know what? Fine. I'll get the kids to breakfast on the way to school." So she runs out of the house and doesn't remind him to grab his briefcase. And he's frustrated. He's late. So he runs upstairs to get a new shirt. And he's upstairs pissing and moaning and mad and just kicking the rocks and just fuming up his day. And he gets in his car and he speeds off to work. He's going to make up some lost time because, well, he's running behind. So he gets pulled over. He gets pulled over by Mr. Officer, and the officer says, "Hey, sir, what's the rush?" And he yells at the officer and says, "It's all your fault. I'm late for a big important meeting. You wouldn't understand." And he starts bad mouthing this officer. Well, the officer pulls him out of the car and has a conversation with him, keeps him there even longer. Well, he shows up to work about an hour and a half late. He's got 4 minutes to prepare for this meeting. So he tries to put on his best face, and he walks into the meeting, and the boss says, "All right, Jones, where's the report?" And he freezes. He goes, "Oh shit, I left it at home." Okay. Well, he doesn't get the promotion. He doesn't get anything. He actually gets fired for the way he handled a huge client event. Let's change the scenario. Same thing. He wakes up a little late still. He goes downstairs. His kids are still playing and being horsing around at the breakfast table. His daughter still hits that coffee cup, spills it over. It hits him in the lap, gets it all over his shirt, and he just calmly stands up and says, "It's okay, honey," as she starts to cry. Accidents happen. He takes his shirt off. The wife realizes what happened. She goes, "Oh, honey, don't worry. I'm just ironing your shirt for tomorrow. Why don't you take it today?" So he puts on the brand new shirt. She finishes the bacon. She gets the kids fed. And before she's out the door, she gives him a kiss goodbye and says, "Honey, don't forget your briefcase. Good luck today." He gets in his car and he heads to the office. He's 15 minutes early. Gets set up and prepped for the meeting, knocks it out of the park, and gets offered the promotion the next day. Both scenarios are the same, right? How much was in his control and how much was out of it? How much was 100% directed to how he responded to somebody else's action? How many times in your life have you responded poorly to a spilled cup of coffee? Every one of us have, right? The funny thing is I was on TikTok as I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for the office to open, and there was a TikTok of a guy that got pulled over, and it said to the officer that pulled me over, "Thank you for the warning." I think it's kind of funny that you pulled me over for failure to stop in a designated area. But you know what? Weird way to pull me over, but thank you for the warning, and thank you for making my day start off frustrated. Happy Monday. Is that guy taking accountability for his actions? Or is he blaming the officer for making his Monday bad? That's a spilled cup of coffee that he acted poorly to. So when we have coffee that spills in our lap, we can choose to let it ruin our entire day. And that might ruin a lot more than just the day. Or we can choose to see things as, you know what, shit happens. It is what it is. Let's find the best way forward. There's one of the best things you can do in life is find that balance between reactive and proactive. If you're prepared for things to go south, when they go south, you have a plan in action. When you're prepared for things to go good, when they go good, you're ready for plans and actions. But the one thing that we all have to worry about is the integrity to our response in things. We have promised ourselves certain aspects in life, success, growth, money, wealth, whatever. And those commitments that we're not going to go back on require us to have certain types of responses in life. So I love Mondays because I know that every day I get to work and be with you guys puts me one step closer to where I want to be in life. So I don't have to live like my parents and hate their jobs and hate their 9 to 5s and, oh my God, it's Monday. Oh, no, I love Mondays. My Monday started at 4 o'clock this morning to drive to Phoenix. Am I mad about that? Not at all. I see an opportunity for growth. My Fridays aren't, oh, thank God it's the weekend I can turn off. No, my Fridays just become another day. I love Fridays because we do movie night, right? That's the integrity that I have towards my business, to my life. But it's also my response to things. My broker asked me to do something on Sunday. I'm not going to throw my hands up like, "Ugh, why are you calling me on a Sunday?" I'm like, okay, clearly you need my help. I'm going to get it done. I can't control other people, but I 100% can control how I respond to other people. And when it's my fault, it's my fault. I take ownership in that. But here's the careful line I want you guys to remember is if you are the ownership type of person, like I take ownership of what I do and what I don't do, right? I take fault where its fault is due, but I won't take fault for something you did. How many of us know someone like that? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, it's my fault. Just blame me. I'll take care of it, right? They protect other people. No, that's not helping you grow. And it's sure as heck not helping the other person grow. So be careful. Being ownership is a good thing, right? Extreme Ownership. It's a great book by Jocko Willink. Read it. And the dichotomy of ownership goes even further. It talks about that. But if you take ownership of your actions, you can control them. If I take ownership of my responses, I can control how I respond to other people. I can't control other people. God, it's futile. If you think you control other people, you are dead wrong. But you can definitely control your response and action to them, right? You can't control your emotions, but you can control your response to them. You can't control your feelings or your body, but you can control the response to it. We can be as proactive as we want to be. Try to do everything right, put everything in place. The life will show up. It'll derail the train. And if you're ready for derailment, you're like, you know what? It is what it is. Let's figure out what we need to get going and get it figured out. Now, taking inventory of where we're at compared to where we want to go allows you to help make a better plan. But it's the commitment you made to yourself and that integrity that you're embodying within your heart that won't let you stop. Like Joanne said, right? She said she was going to go do it, so she did it. Her emotions said, nope, don't want to do it. Her feelings said, nope, don't want to be there. But it's the intensity that she had, that integrity embodied her, said, you know what? I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to go do it. We all made a commitment to ourselves, to someone else, to our families, to our lives, to our next steps. Those commitments aren't hollow. Those commitments require the intensity that will drive you through I don't want tos. will drive you past unforeseen hiccups in the road, or the men in tan that have black, blue, and red lights. He could have given me a ticket. He could have given me a ticket for not having my registration, and I would have to get my registration and go to courts and show that I have it and all this stuff. It would have been a headache. But who would be at fault?
You.
Me. Would I be mad at myself mostly? But I would put systems in place that made sure I didn't have that happen. Like I'd put a reminder in my calendar, May of next year, make sure your registration's paid, or pay it for the next 5 years. Being mad doesn't create solutions for the future. I like that people point out my flaws. Like my wife and I have a really great relationship, and we talk critically about things that aren't and are working. And it's not in a place of condemnation and or criticism. It's like, hey, this might not be something that you realize, but I want to be a mirror to you. I want to be someone that helps you grow. And sometimes that comes out as criticism, sometimes it comes out as joking, sometimes it comes out as a serious conversation, but it all comes from a place of growth and it comes from a place of love. And I think one of the best things I've ever developed is the ability to take criticism and learn from it and grow, not take as an attack. Because to me, I have promised myself a better life. I have promised myself more. And in that, my kids are going to follow along. You guys are going to follow along. Because you believe if I build a bigger world, does your world get bigger too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? Kind of a deep conversation this morning, and there's a whole lot going on around me. I hope you guys can't hear it. So
Right.
I got the old headphones in that don't quite fit.
Me and James were just talking about this yesterday, Dan, actually. But I was sharing how I spent a lot of money last year on a coaching program that I did a couple sessions of, and it was a lot of money. And I basically I wasted that money. And between that and then this other campaign that I did earlier, the last month or so, where I put some money on the line, made me realize I don't really care about money. I want to make a lot of it, don't get me wrong, but it's not that I care about. It's that I daily have people holding me accountable. And so the difference between last year and this year, last year was significantly more money, but I didn't have anybody accountable to me. I wasn't accountable to anybody else. So it was in the dark. It was in the shadows. I could hide. I could make things, I could bullshit, whatever. And nobody noticed it or saw it. And these days I've got all of you guys, I've got Dan, I've got other people in my personal life that if I can bullshit for a little bit, I can hide in the shadows for a little bit, but I have people expecting to see the results that I said. And the expectation I have for them to hold me to the standard is don't get mad at me for holding you to what you said you wanted for yourself.
Mhm.
Those were your words.
No, don't get mad at me for reminding you what you told me you wanted. Just like the cop, this is where Christina's bringing the point completely home where I wanted to is the officer, he was doing his job, and his job was to remind me I didn't do my job. Now, am I going to be mad at him? Like, no, I broke the law. I am driving around on a vehicle that's not currently registered, or it is registered, it's just expired. Not a big crime, but a crime nonetheless. And in the Bible, it says any crime is punishable by death. But I'm glad that we have leniency in the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Actually, he was a DPS officer, state patrol. So, but here's the thing: we pay them. My taxes pay them to keep us accountable, right? Coaching clients pay me to be the police on their success because you want something in life: safety, security, growth, prosperity. Don't get mad at me when I call you on your shit. Not everybody loves to be held accountable. Very few people do. We don't like to be shown wanting. We don't like the flashlight shined on us. We don't want criticism or critical feedback because At the core, all of us are soft and jelly. We're going to hurt our hearts. But some of us take it and like, you know what? You're right. Thank you. Thank you for showing me where I wasn't showing up. Thank you for reminding me who the fuck I am. Because even the greatest people get offline. Even the most successful people fall off track. But having more people around you to pick you up, kick you in the butt, and get you to work is helpful. What's really helpful is to have somebody that's out there in the forest with you with a flashlight that won't let you hide. Every time someone wants to go run and hide behind a bush, shine the light. Think about that. That's a great visual. How annoying would it be to play hide and seek if your little brother followed you around with a flashlight and just shone the light exactly where you're hiding? So the person looking for you is like, yeah, Christina's under the bed. Christina's in the closet. God, that'd be so annoying, wouldn't it? But what if the person seeking you was your success, was your opportunities, was the life that you wanted to live? That's what's seeking you. That's what's hunting you in this game.
Pretty hard. That's pretty hard.
That right there is fucking Instagram worthy.
That was a mic drop moment for sure.
Think about it, right? You guys want to go run and hide. You think you're hiding from something bad. No, you're probably hiding from something good. Show up. What do I tell you guys is the number one rule in real estate? Show up. Show up. That means answer your phone, go to the meeting, go to the class, follow up with people, be visible, be seen. I think the worst thing you could possibly do for your success is hide. And we often hide in comfortable spots. So stop. So if you don't have a flashlight shining on you, get one. I might need to get some more batteries for mine, but I'm willing. What's today worth your Monday?
Yes.
Do you guys look for these Mondays? I love these Mondays. I really do. So, well, guys, thank you so much for being a part of my mornings, part of my tribes. I hope you learned something valuable that you can put to business use right away and for personal use right away. Because I want you guys to all grow, not only professionally, but personally. Because all boats rise in a high tide. So be the high tide in your families, in your circles. And if people don't want to rise with you, drown them. Get them out of your way. Just because you've been on the bus with me the whole time doesn't mean you belong there. Earn your spot. Thank you so much, my friends. Christina, drive safe. We'll see you guys shortly.